Today, we are wasting about 25 minutes of your time giving you one useless fact from every single mission in GTA 4. When you first start the game in the Cousins Bellic, Roman will enter his apartment and place Niko's suitcase on the ground beside the door. But when the cutscene ends, Niko's suitcase all of a sudden disappears from the room entirely. The hardware store that Roman goes to gamble at in It's Your Call is actually open before even starting the mission. However, besides a table and a few chairs, there isn't much to do in here. The mission Three's a Crowd is the first time we get introduced to Michelle, who actually turns out to be Karen Daniels, who secretly works for the FIB. What's funny is that in GTA 5, the mission Three's Company is also the first time we get introduced to this character again, as a clear nod to this mission. If you turn on sleep mode on your phone prior to doing the mission First Date, you will not receive the phone call from Roman asking for assistance at the basketball court, which would trigger the mission bleed-out. Because of this, you will instead get a call from Roman asking to be picked up from the hospital after getting jumped since you weren't there to save him.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to protect me from those crazy loan sharks you attacked, Niko!
You shouldn't have borrowed money from them in the first place, Roman. Anyway, I was seeing Michelle. I thought you wanted me to date her.
That's what it means, me getting beat up and sent to hospital! Come and pick me up, cousin, and at least tell me that you got her titties out. Maybe then your betrayal will be worthwhile.
For the mission bleed out, if you decide to push Darden out of the window to kill him, Niko will get upset that he had to kill someone, saying that he promised himself he wouldn't do that in Liberty City.
I promised myself I wouldn't kill people here.
This is especially funny when you realize that other than Tony Cipriani, whose kills are off-screen, Niko will end up killing more people in his story than any other protagonist in the entire GTA franchise. Every time you play the mission Easy Fare, Jermaine will wear the same clothes, but they will always be a different color. In the mission Jamaican Heat, despite Roman telling you that little Jacob is waiting at Oneida Avenue and South Slope South Broker, Oneida Avenue is actually in Outlook, where Jacob can be found standing at the entrance of Outlook Park. In the mission Bull in a China Shop, if you use a grenade to break the shop window instead of a brick, the glass will still break, but the grenade will never explode for some reason. The owner of the laundromat that we threaten in the mission Hung Out to Dry can later be seen talking with Vlad again at the beginning of Clean Getaway. In the beginning cutscene of Clean Getaway, Vlad starts berating and tries kicking a random civilian under a bridge. Little do we know, however, that same civilian is actually Jerry Kapowitz, who ends up finding the diamonds in the Ballad of Gay Tony. When Vlad says, "Bang bang, you are dead" to Niko in Ivan the Not So Terrible, this is possibly a reference to the Max Payne series when Vladimir Lem says the same line towards Max Payne. When the beta of GTA 4 leaked in March of this year, it was discovered that the mission Concrete Jungle was originally named Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is also the name of a 1990 horror film which followed Jacob Singer as he gets hallucinations from fighting in the Vietnam War, which may have tried to poke fun at how much Jacob smokes.
I don't know, I've been smoking hard, you know. Fucks with my brain and everything. Let me think all type of shit.
In their very first meeting, Vlad says this to Niko.
What? You keep staring at me. I'll burst one of your eyeballs.
Niko seems to remember this, as when he finally goes to kill Vlad, he repays the sentiment by shooting Vlad in one of his eyes. The flat screen TV that Niko is attempting to steal in the mission Crime and Punishment is made by a company called Schmidt & Priss. This company was originally made to be a part of a cut feature in GTA San Andreas, which would have allowed you to customize the interior of your home. But when the feature was cut, Rockstar instead added the company and assets to GTA 4 years later. When Faustin is speaking with Dimitri at the beginning of Do You Have Protection, he says,
"Always so fucked up on painkillers, you don't give a shit."
You need to calm down.
However, in the subtitles, an A is missing in between give and shit. Depending on which side of the platform Niko decides to approach Lenny from in the mission Final Destination, the dialogue of their exchange will be different.
Hey Lenny, Mikhail and Faustin don't like you no more. It's nothing personal.
Faustin ain't nobody. Fuck off!
He's enough of a somebody to get you killed. Hey, Lenny, Mr. Faustin thinks you're a rat. He ain't taking no risks.
I'm into more shit than Mikhail could even imagine. Why would I rat?
The decision has been made.
My dad pays you to ice crazy bitches like this guy.
Hold on a second.
When Niko first enters Faustin's house in No Love Lost, the man that meets him at the door is none other than the wedding assassin. The mission Logging On predicted the future, our free service that allows you to swap useless information with anyone, anywhere, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. The entire idea for Rig to Blow actually comes from a mission of the same name from GTA 3. However, instead of detonating the bomb like you do in GTA 4, Claude is instead tasked with disarming the bomb instead. This fact actually isn't useless at all. In the mission Search and Delete, instead of calling the cops to steal a cop car like Brucey instructs, if you bring a cop car to the mission beforehand, this segment can be skipped entirely. The mission title, Easy as Can Be, comes from when Niko is asking if this job is going to be risky, and Brucey responds,
Nah, easy as can be.
The name The Master and the Molotov was meant to be taken literally in this mission, as in the beta, Faustin was meant to throw Molotov cocktails at Niko while he sat behind the bar in the first shootout. If you use a motorcycle to drive to the taxi depot and apartments that have been lit ablaze in Roman Sorrow, the cutscene that plays for each location will be different.
Holy fuck, it's fucking burning! The whole place! I've got to go in! I've got to get something!
Leave it, cousin.
I've got nothing left! Not my home, not my business, nothing! I took it all!
I'm sorry, Roman. I'm really sorry, but we have to go.
On Niko's lovemeat.net profile that can be seen on the mission Out of the Closet, Niko's profile picture is him standing in Star Junction in Algonquin. This shouldn't be possible, however, since only Dukes, Bowen, and Broker are accessible by this point in the story. In the mission number 1, Brucey shows us his modified Bravado Banshee, aptly named The Bitch. This car actually made a brief return during the Los Santos tuner update in GTA Online, as evidenced by the license plate which reads D481TCH. Escuela in Spanish means school, which makes the translation of this mission actually read School of the Streets. This is especially funny given that Niko gives Manny a lesson on stalking people while tailing the dealer.
Apparently, the mob teaches people to stay 2 car lengths behind the target.
The garage used in the mission Street Sweeper was actually revamped to become the Pay and Spray in GTA Chinatown Wars, which came out 1 year later. Despite the meeting taking place on Joliet Street in the mission Luck of the Irish, Packy's voice actor Ryan Johnston accidentally pronounces it Joylette Street instead of Joliet Street.
Where are we going?
I got this meeting over on Joylette Street.
While this isn't confirmed by any means, in the mission Blow Your Cover, a character that looks exactly like an older version of Jimmy Hopkins, the protagonist from Rockstar's other game Bully, can be seen dancing in the background wearing a blue vest and a white shirt with rolled sleeves, just like he does in his game. In the Puerto Rican connection, the train is actually traveling on the wrong side of the tracks, which is likely a slight oversight from Rockstar. In GTA 5, it is quite common to see cops rappelling down from police helicopters once getting more than a 4-star wanted level. This, however, was originally supposed to be a feature in GTA 4, however was scrapped for unknown reasons, though it was briefly shown during a cutscene for the mission The Snowstorm. In the mission Have a Heart, rather than meeting the doctor behind this building, it was originally planned for Niko to meet the doctor on a dock by the Dukes Bay Bridge, which explains why a screenshot on the Steam homepage shows them meeting there. After finishing the shootout with the Triads in the mission Harboring a Grudge, a Liberty Tree article reports the shooting took place at the docks in Fish Market South, when it actually took place in Fish Market North. On the famous mission 3-Leaf Clover, Derek, Niko, Michael, and Packy rob a bank armed with ARs and wearing ski masks. If you go to the TV and watch the commercial aimed at recruiting people to the LCPD, you can actually see Packy and Michael about to enter the bank during this mission, with the cops doing nothing about it. In final interview, Tom Goldberg will say the line,
"Guns don't kill people, video games do."
This is a now famous line from a lawyer named Jack Thompson, who was a well-known video games cause violence activist prior to GTA 4's release and was candidly outspoken about his dislike for the GTA franchise. It's widely believed that Tom's character is meant to be a satirized version of Jack Thompson in the GTA universe. And after finding out that you kill this character in GTA 4, he actually attempted to sue Rockstar for doing so, but ultimately had the case thrown out. If you decide to spare Clarence's life in the mission Holland Knights, you were supposed to receive a phone call from Francis angry at you for having let him live. In this cut phone call, Francis referred to him as Clarence Jones, despite his last name actually being Little, which may be the reason why it was cut from the game. In the mission Lure, there was a sign in the hallway of the apartment building that reads, "Can all residents refrain from dumping rubbish in the hallway?" It's very likely that this is an oversight from Rockstar North using the word rubbish instead of garbage, as they've messed up in the past using their native English vocabulary when making games based in the US. Playboy X, who we meet for the first time in Destruction for Beginners, is believed by some to be loosely based off the character Stringer Bell from the hit 2002 show The Wire. If you've only played the mission photo shoot one time, then you may not know that each time you start the mission, Marlon has a chance to be wearing either a yellow, black, or blue hoodie, and it's always random. After killing Javon and finishing the mission Rough Rider, there will be a Liberty Tree article that blames video games for being the reason that Javon was killed. This is just another funny jab towards people who wrongfully blame GTA for causing violence in the real world. There is a mission in the game called Wrong is Right, and Michael Hollick, the voice actor for Niko Bellic, appeared in an episode of Law & Order SVU with the exact same name as this mission. In hostile negotiation, Mallory tells Niko that Roman has been kidnapped and taken to Hunts Point.
I heard he owed some Russians money. A friend of mine saw him at that cod club on Hunts Point.
This, however, is an oversight from Rockstar, since the neighborhood is actually called Chase Point in GTA 4, which is based on Hunts Point, Bronx in real life. Even though the game doesn't normally allow you to shoot down Boriden's helicopter over the city, the YouTuber Whatever57010 used a trainer to destroy it anyway, and discovered that Rockstar even added a unique phone call to the game when this occurs, despite the fact that it should be impossible.
Hey, me and Jacob kind of messed up. We had to shoot the chopper down over land.
I'll be in touch.
In the mission Actions Speak Louder Than Words, we are instructed to destroy the Northwood Fuel Depot using a bomb. However, by the time the events of GTA Chinatown Wars occur, the fueling station has been fixed. The mission I Need Your Clothes, Your Boots, and Your Motorcycle is clearly a direct reference to Terminator 2 Judgment Day, where the Terminator says the exact same line while talking to the biker.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
When we search up Bucky Sligo in the mission Smackdown, he actually has the same face texture as the taxi drivers in Little Italy. Much like GTA 5, it's clear that Rockstar takes a lot of inspiration and quotes from famous movies, as after the mission A Long Way to Fall has ended, Niko will call Ray and start with "Ted's dead," which is an obvious reference to a similar scene in Pulp Fiction where Bruce Willis's character says, "Zed's dead." In the mission Babysitting, it is impossible to run out of rockets while shooting the helicopter, as the number of remaining rockets will always remain stuck at 3. Despite it looking like Packy is going absolutely crazy with his shotgun during the gunfight in the Tunnel of Death, he's actually coded to not deal any damage to the police whatsoever, making him utterly useless in this mission. In the mission Blood Brothers, we have the choice to kill either Francis or Derek McCreary. However, in GTA 5's mission The Polito Score, if you choose Packy to be a part of your crew, he describes the events of 3-Leaf Clover to the rest of the crew. During this explanation, however, he will mention his brother Derek and say, "God rest his soul."
What is interesting is my biggest job, the Bank of Liberty City.
Ah, shit, yeah. I heard you were part of the crew that took that down.
I ran the crew. It was me, my brother Derek, God rest his soul.
which may imply that it was canonical for him to be killed off during this mission. The mission Undertaker is the only time in all of GTA 4 that you can obtain a Romero. In fact, after the mission ends, you can find the Ramiro driving on the road, and if you take out the drivers, then you can keep the car for yourself. During the chase with Luca and his crew on the mission Meltdown, they crash into and destroy a peculiar-looking statue. This statue is called Le Noblesque, and is made by an artist named C. Shut Your Mouth. In the Ballad of Gay Tony mission, Not So Fast, Tony Prince asks why Gracie hasn't shown up to Hercules yet.
And where the fuck is Gracie, huh? She's supposed to meet me here.
It turns out that she hasn't shown up yet because during the mission I'll Take Her, Niko has kidnapped her while she was on the way. In the Mission Museum piece, the developers at Rockstar North left a funny message on the plaques by the dinosaurs, which reads that they were made with 21,000 polygons. In the mission No Way on the subway, the trains during the chase scene actually move much slower than they do normally. The Majestic Hotel that features in the mission Late Checkout saw its first appearance in Manhunt 2, another one of Rockstar's titles. The mission name Weekend at Florian's is a clever reference to the hit 1989 movie Weekend at Bernie's, given that Florian also goes by Bernie.
Can we stop with the fat jokes, Florian?
It's Bernie now.
If for whatever reason you damage the car too much while Gracie is in the back trunk during the mission She's a Keeper, a secret cutscene will play.
Niko, what took you?
Fucking, how you say, Guidos was all over my tail.
You got Gracie in the trunk, do you?
Yeah.
Shit, Niko, her neck's broke. Fuck! Fucking control your driving when the cargo's this valuable. I'll be in touch.
This will ultimately lead to a mission fail. In the mission Hating the Haters, you need to steal a Faggio in order to chase the hater down. Occasionally, however, one of the NPCs that's standing by the bike you will take has the same model as Carmen Ortiz. There's a slight oversight in the mission Union Drive, where the police won't turn on their lights while pursuing the blackmailers. Not that it matters, since they will almost immediately lose control and crash anyway. Originally, Bernie was supposed to call Niko prior to the mission Buoys Ahoy. However, at some point this was changed to a text message instead. But this explains why Niko gets to the dock and is panicked and tells Bernie that he sounded hysterical.
Yoo-hoo! Bernie, what's wrong?
Nothing, sweetie.
But you sounded hysterical.
Oh, sometimes I can't bear to be alone.
Regardless of which way you head through the factory to find Jimmy in the mission Pegorino's Pride, the cutscene will always play as if Niko came through the door of the factory. When going to meet Jimmy Pegorino at his home at the beginning of the mission Payback, Jimmy says to Niko,
"Can you kill this shithead?"
Sure.
This is unfortunately some terrible foreshadowing for when later Niko does just that. In the mission Catch the Wave, Niko and Phil go to steal a bunch of coke, or sugar as they call it, from the Ancelottis. The name Catch the Wave is actually a very clever reference to Coca-Cola's slogan from the 1990s. There's an oversight in the mission Trespass where, after shooting the helicopter down, a fire occurs towards the tail of the helicopter instead of the engine like it's supposed to. Rockstar Games paid homage to the mission To Live and Die in Alderney within GTA 5 by making an achievement after completing the campaign called To Live and Die in Los Santos. The mission in GTA 4 and the achievement in GTA 5, however, are both references to the movie To Live and Die in LA, which released back in 1985. At the end of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, there was supposed to be one more phone call between Jerry and Niko that was ultimately scrapped from the game.
Niko, it's Jerry.
Hey!
Great. Look, Niko, I've always been responsible for my family. Now one of my brothers is dead, and I'm on the inside. They're gonna need some looking after, especially young Patrick and Katie, my sis.
Jerry, what's this about?
I want you to look out for them is all. Keep an eye on them, make sure no harm comes to them. It's a fucked up world out there. In here too, for that matter.
I'll do what I can, man.
Alright, so long, Niko.
There are a ton of unused phone calls that got cut from GTA 4, and so I'll leave a link to a great video by Not AJ who documented all of them if you'd like to have a listen. The motorcade ambush in the mission Entourage is almost an exact copy of a scene from the 1994 movie Clear and Present Danger starring Harrison Ford. On the mission Dining Out, Niko is tasked with interrogating the manager of the restaurant to find out where Kim is. If you decide to log on to the manager's computer, however, the computer will say, "Welcome Niko." It should have the manager's name, just like the mission final interview, and so it's likely that this is a minor oversight from Rockstar. Once you reach the compound and the mission liquidize the assets, a cutscene plays and you can clearly see that this guard is holding a combat sniper. However, after the cutscene ends, he is now shooting at you with a carbine rifle. Although this is quite well known at this point, on the mission Flatline where you go to kill Anthony in the hospital, most people didn't know on their first playthrough that you're actually supposed to go into the change room before heading to Anthony's room and putting on a set of scrubs. This was obviously the intended way Rockstar planned to have the mission completed, but most people didn't even realize this and just went guns blazing. The mission name That Special Someone is actually a callback reference to the mission Portrait of a Killer. In this mission, the contact asks Niko if he is looking for someone, to which Niko replies,
"We're all looking for that special someone,"
referring to Darko, which Niko can finally take out during this mission. Once you've completed the mission If the Price is Right, you will receive a phone call from Roman. He tells you that his wedding is today, however, that technically might not be true. If you completed the mission during the day, then yes, the wedding will be today. But if you completed the mission at night, it will technically be tomorrow. While this isn't a useless fact about the actual mission per se, in the newest update of GTA Online, the Court Center heist, one of the paintings that can be stolen depicts the scene shortly after Roman has been shot, with all of the relevant characters portrayed wearing Greek clothing. There's a very symbolic callback in the final mission of the deal ending that relates all the way back to the very first mission of the game. In the dialogue between Niko and Roman at the very start of the game, Roman will say,
Niko, my cousin! I can't believe it, you're here! Welcome to America!
Bravo, Barazzaru!
What?
Good to see you, man. What, you forget our language?
Kapusi? Maybe a little. I've been here 10 years. You could speak English.
And when Niko finally comes face to face with Raskolov at the end of a Revenger's tragedy, Niko gives Dmitri the same advice.
Welcome to America. Speak English.
The name A Dish Served Cold comes from the phrase revenge is a dish best served cold. A lot of people won't know, however, that this is actually the English translation of the original quote, which was first uttered in an 1841 French novel named Mathilde, written by Eugene Sue. Real Badman is present at Roman and Mallory's wedding in both the deal and the revenge endings. However, for some reason, he only wears his signature hat during the revenge ending. And finally, the final mission of the revenge ending Out of Commission has many reasons why it is most likely considered the canon ending of GTA 4, similar to Death Wish in GTA 5. One of the reasons being that in the Ballad of Gay Tony, Timbers says,
Now Raskolov is dead. We have sole claim to the junk.
This refers to the drugs that Bulgarin's men picked up after the revenge ending. On top of this, Roman's taxi shop has been fixed by the events of GTA Chinatown Wars, which took place a year later, and it is even referenced in a Life Invader post in GTA 5, calling it Roman's taxi business. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed. A huge shout out to both Reddit and the GTAWiki for helping with a lot of the useless information in this video. I have left a link to the proper GTAWiki down below, so make sure to start using that one instead of the fandom one. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.